Good evening everybody and welcome for the last time this season to Hague Avenue, the home of Southport Football Club, but once again tonight it's the home of Everton Under-21s. The penultimate Premier League 2 fixture of the season brings the Gunners to the seaside town of Southport. 2 games to go, Chaddy, mid-table, not a great deal to play for the lads, but we're looking forward to this one.
Yeah, most definitely. I've said before, it's about development at this level, whether it be the start of the season, the end of the season. I'm sure the coaching staff at Everton will be looking for the players to put on a good performance and make sure they show how far they've developed this season.
They beat Leicester 4-1 down at the Leicester City Training Academy on Monday night, so they should take plenty of confidence from that into this game. Yeah,
a couple of good performances, the Liverpool one before that as well, and like you say, a good performance for last week against Leicester, so plenty of positives to take forward into what should be a good test tonight against this Arsenal team.
Just seen you speaking to Keith Southern there. Keith and Paul Tait in their first season here have done well, haven't they?
Yeah, brilliantly. Really good people as well as coaches, and if they can rub some of their characteristics and personality and football experience onto these young players, which they have been doing. Tait over a number of years here at Everton, and Keith with the under-18s and now with the under-21s. It's of great benefit to the young players at this club.
It's a difficult job at times, isn't it, coaching the 21s, because even day in, day out of training, you're never sure what you're going to be working with, because the first team manager might need a couple of players, the 18s might need a couple of players, so you just got to play the hand that you're dealt with.
Most definitely, and it's different results, isn't it? You're talking about, can they get a result tonight here in the game, but also Tait and Keith will be looking at the results in terms of how many players can they get up with that first team, what experiences have these players had up with the first team this season, so they'll be looking at that sort of result as well as the games programme, and it can be at times frustrating because players will go up to the first team and you'll have to call upon players from the under-18 level, and you see the team tonight and the squad tonight probably is a lot different than the one that started the season, but that's the name of the game, and developing and pushing players on.
You've been in this situation, you've played for Everton reserves as it was then, and a couple of defeats at the end of the season can linger during the summer, is it? So you want to finish on a high?
Most definitely. Like you say, my attitude and a lot of the attitude of the players in my time in the reserve, what was a reserve team then, was play as well as you can, and I always think younger players will get an opportunity at the start of the season or at the end, and it'll be very, very difficult for these young players to get an opportunity at the end of this season for Everton, but they've got to play to the very end of the season and make sure they finish on a high.
A couple of players that you just, as you said there quite rightly, the squad that's here tonight on parade is very different from the squad that was around for the first game. Halit Jang-Pat has come in and done really well, Katia Kiarte as well, so when you're a young player like that and you get your opportunity, you've just got to seize it, haven't you?
Yeah, and there has to be that pathway, and I think I've always said, and when we've spoke before, I'm a big advocate of this football club, that there's a pathway here, and when you're starting out as an under-16, 17, younger under-18, there's every opportunity you'll end up getting a chance in the under-21s, and that's what we've seen this season so far, and likewise the lads who started the season in this under-21 squad have had their opportunities in the first team, and that's a really positive and a great thing about this football club.
Tom Cannon is currently the top goal scorer on 16. He's obviously spent the last few months at Preston North End. Stanley Mills is breathing down his neck. You always wanted to just nudge ahead of your rivals, didn't you? You wanted to look at the end of the season and think, I was the top scorer. Most definitely, and I think if you're an attacking player, Tom Cannon will probably be watching tonight, hoping that he can hold on to that top spot. But will he? I imagine so. I think that's innate in centre forward. So you're right. There is that in-house competition, and everybody's got these individual goals that they want to achieve. Well, we mentioned there before that Everton went to Leicester City on Monday night and won by 4-1, and it was a thoroughly deserved outcome. Here's the pick of the action. There you go, a fantastic performance and a fantastic victory for Everton. My co-commentator tonight, Nick Chadwick. 21 years ago today, Chaddy, you were at Goodison Park to score for the first team, for David Moyes' first team against Blackburn Rovers. We ultimately lost the game 2-1, but for a young centre forward to score in the Premier League for Everton at Goodison Park, wow, doesn't get better than that, does it?
Just brightened my day up, Darren. I didn't know that. Most definitely. You know, that's what I dreamed of as a kid coming through the academy at this football club, and I'm sure it's the aspirations of the players on show tonight. But 21 years ago, I remember, it doesn't seem that long ago in one respect, but it seems a lifetime ago in another. But no, great memories, and I remember the goal well, and I remember
that time. Talk us through your goal. Go on, talk us through your goal.
Scruffy back heel on the goalkeeper. It was a corner, I think, nodded down, and just managed to get something on it. But
good little goal scoring run, didn't you, towards the end of that season?
Yeah, David Moyes, when he first come in, to be fair, give not only myself but one or two others an opportunity, and I managed to score 3 goals in that time, and I think I only started 5 games for Everton, so the ratio ended up being quite good. But I'm forever grateful, one, to David Moyes and to this football club to give me the opportunity of achieving what was my dream, and also to represent this football club, and no one can ever take that away from you, and to be able to have that opportunity, and to be able to be a goal scorer for Everton Football Club and play in the Premier League, that's something that I hold very dear, and it was a great achievement.
You and I have spoken about this before and smiled about it before, but you're probably one of the few Evertonians who didn't enjoy the breakthrough of Wayne Rooney the following summer. It was bad timing for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, we spoke about it before, but you know, you come through as a centre forward at a Premier League football club, you get into the first team, you scored a couple of goals, and then all of a sudden, probably the greatest English ever centre forward is only 2 years younger than you. But you know, it was again testament to the academy at Everton of the great players that we had at that time, and that we continue to have.
You went on to have a good career, play for various clubs, but whenever we speak about Everton, it's still we and us, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. It becomes your life. I joined the club at 9 years of age, and I think I left at 21, 22. You know, there's still people here. You say I was talking to one or two of the staff earlier. There's people here now, yourself included, who was very much part of the club when I was coming through, and then bonds and then friendships are created. And I think that's what's special about this football club. People who have been at the club, the majority have a great fondness and affection for the club and love the club, and I certainly still do. 21 years on.
Well, somebody else who came through the ranks and is still around at the football club is the Under-21 manager, Tait. Nice. Paul, 2 to go. What are you expecting tonight?
Tough game, Darren. Obviously, when Arsenal come and play the top football club, we've got a lot of good youth players. Just played in the youth cup final, so you know they'll have strength and depth. We're expecting a really tough test.
Must be full of confidence after a terrific performance and result against Leicester.
Yes, we thought we performed really well in the mini derby, and then didn't quite get the win we deserved. So then to get the win the other night, and then also the performance was excellent. So then we're looking for that little bit of consistency just on this run in at the end of the season. You know, 2 games left. Just throwing down the challenge to the boys to try and come up with that same performance level and result, hopefully.
It'd be nice to go on a little unbeaten run just to take into the summer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think they deserve an unbeaten run. I think they've been excellent all season, the players. You know, and I'd love to see them finish on a high.
Spoke to Stan Mills a few moments ago and reminded him that he's only a couple of goals off being the leading goal scorer this season for the 21s, which he didn't know, but that's a challenge for him, isn't it?
Excellent, yeah. He's probably glad Tom Cannon's gone on loan in January, so he can take that mantle. But no, Stan has scored goals from early on in the season. He's got some really important goals, and as well as that, his development this season's been excellent to see. Really improved in many aspects of his game, really, and goal scoring's one of them. You
actually needed someone to fill the void left by Tom Cannon, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Obviously, we Frankie came in and become our 9 then, and was playing every week. He's playing every week since Tom left, and you know, has done a great job. But of course, you need players to chip in from all over the pitch to score goals, and I think we have. Our midfield players have scored goals as well as Stan.
It's been a pretty long trek this season. 41st game, still another one to go after tonight. Have you enjoyed your first season in charge of the 21s?
Yeah, I've absolutely loved it, Darren. You know, it's been an honour to take the team just the work rate that the boys have put in every day in training, and you know, just the characters they are. It's been a joy to be around them. Been a pleasure to work with them, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been pretty grueling, as you know. You've been on a lot of the trips to London and getting back at 4 o'clock in the morning, but this is the life we choose. We love it.
They are a good group, aren't they, these boys?
Excellent group of lads. I've known them for a long time. Quite a few of them have been here since an early age in the academy. Obviously talented boys, that's why they're here, but you know, it's really important that you know, we're helping them become better people, better lads, and they are the excellent group of young men now.
And you're certain that they'll put a right shift in, even though 2 games to go, and technically with regards to the league table, not a great deal to play for, but once these boys put that royal blue jersey on.
Absolutely, we're reminded of that the other night. You know, it's never just a game, it's never just a kick around when you're playing for Everton. And you know, these lads are trying to get in and around the first team squad, whether it's now or next season or somebody else's first team squad on loan in the summer. So it's never just a game, you know. It'll be full of scouts here again and managers tonight, so they're always in the shop window, so they don't want to let themselves down, don't want to let the club down, don't let their families down. So 100% application every time.
Thanks, Paul, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Darren.
Cheers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hague Avenue. Everton Under-21s, 2 games to go now. It's been a long season. This is the 41st fixture for Paul Tait and Keith Southern in their first season at the helm of the Under-21s. Arsenal are the visitors here to Southport. My co-commentator tonight is Nick Chadwick. Welcome, Nick. We've got a nice view from the halfway line here across the pitch, and we were just saying the pitch looks well, considering that we've played on it, Southport have played on it, and it's the end of April.
Yeah, evening, Darren. As we've just been saying there off air, the pitch here immaculate, and as I said to you, it'd be interesting to see the state of the pitch had Everton's investment not been part of this Southport pitch, but no, it's a testament to the work that's been done on it. It's brilliant surface. Good
little setup here at Southport. There your screen, it's not lashing down with rain, by the way. Don't be alarmed by that angle. The cameraman cleverly behind the sprinklers here as Arsenal prepare to make their way onto the pitch. Arsenal currently 8th in Premier League 2. The Toffees 1 place above Arsenal in 7th. The highest we can finish is 6th, as our referee from the northeast, Andrew Miller, leads the 2 teams out to the familiar sound of Z-Cars. And it doesn't matter whether you're at a first team game, an under-21s game or a wedding. Once you hear Z-Cars, Chaddy, it gets you going, doesn't it?
It's a bit different when you hear it at the end of a night at a wedding, but yeah, I get your point, Darren. As you say, it's great for
gets you off your feet though, doesn't it?
for these young players coming out to the classic Z-Cars. So sets the atmosphere, doesn't it? And
yeah.
not too many people here to watch tonight, but I'm sure these young Everton players appreciate touches like playing in front of a stadium, playing in front of supporters. Z-Cars being played, it all adds to the experience, doesn't
Definitely. It? Much better to play at stadiums than at training grounds, isn't it, surely?
I think that's part of it, I think that's part of this level of football, making sure that players can get used and accustomed to playing in certain environments such as this.
Just wish we had a few more punters through the gates up here. And there's the Everton side on parade tonight. Billy Crellin, Roman Dixon, Ishii Samuel-Smith, Reece Welsh, Eli Campbell, Sean McAllister retains the captain's armband. Stanley Mills closing in, as we said in our preview, on the leading scorer accolade for the season. Jensen Metcalf, Francis Okoronkwo, Khalid Jankpata and Katia Kuyate. Even though it's an end-of-season game, we're 7th, they're 8th. Surely on the young players' minds, Chaddy, there'll be scouts here tonight. Is it, you know better than me, is this the time of year when scouts really up their work and look at players that they can bring in during the summer?
I think so, yeah. I think obviously there's always people watching, and you never know who's out there watching you play. But I also think, and just talking to Gareth Prosser and Carl Darlington there from the academy manager and head of coaching at Everton, here at Everton, and what's really pleasing for them is these younger players who are now getting an opportunity at this under-21 level, and from their perspective to be able to see these younger players progress into this level of football is a real mark of success in terms of the youth development and the pathway at the football club.
The pathway has to be illuminated, doesn't it? Otherwise, young players will not join the football club. Simple as that.
Most definitely, and I think that's one of the great things about this football club and our football club is that they've always promoted younger players, and there's always been an opportunity going back from even before when I was a young player here at the club. There was always that opportunity for younger players to progress.
We're all ready to go. 2 games to go. Arsenal here at Southport tonight. Leicester City at Finch Farm a week on Monday. Mr. Miller checks both his watches. Come on, Mr. Miller. Thank you. And we're underway here at Southport. 2 games to go. Francis Okoronkwo wins the first header, but Rule Walters will guard it safely back to Noah Cooper in the Arsenal goal. Louis. Bruno Souza. Challenged by Welsh. Jensen Metcalf infield to Sean McAllister. A bit sloppy from Sean McAllister. Charles Sago Jr.
Definite style and identity to this Arsenal team, isn't it, Dan? And something I was really looking forward to tonight was being able to watch these young Arsenal players, and would they play with that same philosophy as what's been adopted by Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, and I'm sure in his mind longer term he'll want that identity flowing through the football club, and it looks by the way Arsenal have started that's certainly going to be the case.
Seem to have imploded in the Premier League, don't they? I'm sure a lot of Blues would have wanted Mikel to join the ranks of Premier League title winning managers, but he needs a miracle now, doesn't it?
Yeah, difficult, isn't it, when you're under so much pressure from the likes of Man City, who are just relentless in their pursuit of results and performances, aren't they, and have that experience to put teams like Arsenal, who've had a terrific season, under pressure when it's at the business end of the season.
Yeah, like having Usain Bolt breathing down your neck. Here's the skipper again, Louis. Charles Sago Jr. will chase after that, but not keep it in, and it'll be a goal kick for Everton. Arsenal missing some of the regular youngsters who have played in the under-21 side this season because they were involved in FA Youth Cup final action on Tuesday night when Arsenal were soundly beaten by West Ham United at the Emirates by 5-1.
Great to see a young West Ham Academy side win the FA Youth Cup.
It goes back traditional.
During my time, they had great young players, and Joe Cole and Michael Carrick coming through when I was an under-18, and it's great to see their academy again flourish.
Frank Lampard in that side.
I think he was a couple of years a bit older, but again another one who come through such a prestigious academy, West Ham's.
Goes back to Bobby Moore and Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters and the like.
Before my time as well, that time.
Slightly before mine as well, I'm glad to say. Not by much. David Moyes interviewed during the week, absolutely delighted that his young team lifted the FA Youth Cup. There's Jensen Metcalf, just waiting for this game to settle down into some sort of rhythm.
I think it's interesting tonight, Darren, as well, to see Sean McAllister and Stanley Mills, who've been regulars at this level and but suffered it through with injury a little bit this season. Now back in the side, and when we go back to players who will be looking to impress and finish the season strongly, they're certainly two more senior at this level now, along with Reece Welsh, who will be looking to impose themselves and really finish the season strongly. Sean
is probably in the best form of his Everton career. As you say, he's had no luck with injuries, and he made a name for himself in the FA Youth Cup run a few years ago that you and I saw most of the games, Chaddy, and he now is a regular. He's a kingpin of the midfield here now for the 21s. It's taken him a while, but he's just starting to impose himself.
Really good to see, though, isn't it? Like you say, a couple of years ago, just a chance.
Chance on the edge of the penalty area for Arsenal. Got foot in by Jensen Metcalf, but it breaks for Sago Jr. Needs a bit of support and gets it from Ben Cottrell, who's played first team football for Arsenal in the Europa League a couple of years ago. Stroke it about confidently, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah. But going back to Sean McAllister as well, I think he's the type who would have perhaps gone out on loan and gone and got some games this season, along with Stanley Mills, had they not been injured at that particular time of the season. And like you say, to see Sean progress from that FA Youth Cup run they had, and now really be a stalwart in the centre midfield of this under-21 team. That just shows his development and his progression under the staff.
Alex Young-Pata, who's just eased himself into the under-21 picture this season from the under-18s.
Speaking to Kieran Driscoll last week, who really likes Khalid, and said how well he's done this season for the under-18s. And again, it's been great work with Kieran and Leighton Baines in terms of his progression and moving him into this level of football. And be interesting to see how he does tonight against this high-calibre Arsenal side.
As most of them are as well. He's a cracking lad, Alex Young-Pata. Reece Welsh. Get after that, Francis, he says. Okoronkwo chases it down. He was always second favourite, but he won't give up the ghost. And Noah Cooper has to lash it to safety.
I like to see that hard work off the ball though from Francis there. Good ball goes in behind, and a lot of balls played to feet so far in this opening 5 minutes. A lot of passes have gone to feet, a lot of passes seen a lot of time on the ball, but to be a ball to go down the side, and the striker working hard out of possession to go and try and force a mistake and make something out of that ball over the top. It says a lot about his attitude and his desire to do well in the game.
With an excellent game against Leicester City at their training ground on Monday. And he is again, but can't get a foot in.
Competence in possession of the football, this Arsenal side, aren't they? Moving it about really well. Everton sticking to a good shape, almost a 4-4-2 out of possession, just forcing it wide. They're looking to press in wider areas.
Welsh watches that all the way. Here's Jensen Metcalf, somebody else he won't want the season to finish, Jensen Metcalf, because he's missed so much of it through injury. He's just got a little run in the under-21 side. Cozy Adubi plays it wide to James Sweet over on the far side.
It's going to be important Everton keep hold of the ball when they get it here. They've spent a lot of time so far in the opening periods of the game out of possession without the football. When they win it back, they need to make sure they keep a hold of it and get some passes in themselves, because otherwise it's going to be a long night having to work tirelessly without possession of the football.
On Louis, the 17 international. His defensive partner there is Roel Walters. Paul Tait at the middle of your screen there, closing in on the end of his first season in charge of the under-21s, working with players he knows so well from his time coaching at the academy. Sensible appointment, wasn't it, Paul Tait and Keith Southern, once Unsey and John Ebrel had gone to Oldham Athletic?
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, chance for Arsenal here on the volley. He hasn't connected well. Catalan Suryan, the Romanian, he had an opportunity there, and he should have done better.
Yeah, but disappointed he didn't hit the target there. Almost a free effort ball coming down from a little bit height on it. Had to control the volley, but just screwed it right wide of the goal. Fortunately for Everton, but a good opportunity. Going back to the Paul Tait one, I think it was an excellent appointment. I really think he's a real good person as well as good coach as Paul Tait, and he's really earned his stripes.
He's a football man, isn't he?
Works at every level at the academy, and has earned his opportunity, and absolutely loves the game, and has worked hard on his own coaching and his own development. And I think for people like Paul Tait to progress, I think that's the right thing for Everton Football Club, and the right thing for aspiring coaches. Yeah,
you think the pathway for coaches has got to be as brightly lit as the pathway for players?
Yeah, I certainly think so, and I think academies, yes, they're promoting players and development of young players, but I also believe that it should be development of coaches and development of staff, and everybody's on that learning journey. And I think it's important the likes of Paul Tait and Keith Southern, etc., are given opportunities, and that's been the case here at Everton.
Well, what hasn't been the case this evening is Everton having an awful lot of the ball, because Arsenal have been stroking it about nicely. Once again, they switch it to this near side. Stanley Mills comes across to challenge Sego Jr. He slides it forward. Little layoff from Cottrell, picked up by Keon Edwards. Edwards is forced towards the corner, needs help and gets it from Sego Jr. Little pirouette from him. Space for the cross now from Sego Jr. But he hits Reece Welch. Lino Souza headed away by Metcalf. It's a corner kick, and Everton are pretty much penned in here.
I think they're quite comfortable in their defensive shape, but I think what Paul Tait and Keith Southern will be, I think their mindset will be once we've got a decent shape behind the ball, now we need to put some pressure on and actually be a little bit more aggressive in terms of being able to go and get it back and force mistakes and force errors. A little bit passive in terms of that when they're in their shape at the minute and just allowing Arsenal to dictate.
Corner kick for the Gunners. Up go their heads. That was an opportunity as well, and Rule Walters has just rather tamely headed it wide, and again he'll be disappointed, Charlie, won't he?
Free header in the middle of the box, 6 yards out. Should have done a lot better, and that's 2 opportunities now where Arsenal have basically been unopposed inside the box, and just missed it, missed header at the back post, and just got to get a little bit tighter, a little bit more aggressive out of possession. Everton put this Arsenal team under a bit more pressure when they're on the ball.
Ball from Jensen Metcalf is over Okoronkwo. It's back with the goalkeeper, Noah Cooper.
It's one of them games, Darren, isn't it, where you've got to sort of try and raise the tempo, raise the intensity yourself. You can't allow that sort of Friday night end of season feel to dictate the emotional state of the game. These young Everton players have got to try and create that intensity themselves, make sure they just get a little bit closer to this Arsenal side and try and turn the game in their favour.
It's the sort of game that needs a crunching challenge or something, doesn't it, just to liven it up a little bit.
I think that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see.
Leave one on him. That's what you mean. Oh, Jensen Metcalf gets caught in possession. Eli Campbell, as always, in the right place at the right time. He's had a good season, Eli Campbell, forging a nice partnership with Reece Welch at the heart of the Everton defence.
Another two, aren't they? Have been fairly solid at this level this season. They've played a lot of games together.
Shaw McAllister, that's a little bit fortunate. Finds Jang Pata. Jang Pata tried to slip it through to Francis Okoronkwo, but didn't put enough pace on the pass. And that all ended rather tepidly there for Everton. Here comes Jack Henry Francis. Cottrell.
Again, Everton can only get 1 or 2 passes off of their own before they give it away again, and just losing possession a little bit too easily, too frequently.
Paul Tait will be a little bit frustrated at the start of this game. Roman Dixon has to come along to try and check the progress of Charles Sego Jr., and he does well, Roman Dixon. It'll be a good contest, Charles Sego Jr. and Roman Dixon this evening at Southport. Decent ball by Henry Francis. Walters. Sousa. Well defended by Samuel Smith. And well steered wide by Jensen Metcalf, who took a whack for his troubles, and Okoronkwo chased this forward, and he's onside. No, he's not. The linesman flag goes up on this near side. I thought he was going to try a little first-time lob over the goalkeeper then, but linesman's flag up anyway.
It was a good run in behind, just mistimed a little bit, just went a little bit too early, but caught the back 2 centre halves there from Arsenal, just napping and balling behind and offering that threat on the counter-attack, but as I say, just the movement just a little bit too early and was offside.
Then Cottrell. Goes Dubry. Good challenge, is she, Samuel Smith. Now then, first time Stan Mills has had the ball at his feet. Forced on the wide, and he's nudged over by Monlou. He wants a free kick, but he's not going to get one. Referees encouraged these days to let a little bit more go, which is good for the game, isn't it?
Most definitely, yeah. Better from Everton as well. Tighter in the middle of the pitch, comes into that middle part of the pitch, nice and tight. Tackle comes in. Everton nick possession and slight opportunity on the counter-attack and just fizzles out, but better. This is where Everton need to get tight now in this middle part of the pitch as Arsenal try to play through Everton. Make sure they get tackle in, win possession and break.
Well played, Kasia Kiate. Here's Shaw McAllister. Back to Welsh. Well, spoke to Stanley Mills when we got off the team bus here at Southport earlier this evening and told him he only needed 2 goals in the last 2 games to be joint top scorer. 3 in the last 2, and he would be out on his own ahead of Tom Cannon as the leading goal scorer for this season for Everton Under-21s. Paul Tait needed somebody to pick up the goal scoring baton when Tom Cannon went to Preston, and Stanley Mills certainly did that. What a ball by Sean McAllister. What a take by Tait. Nobody in there, and Tait looks a bit frustrated, and I think he's got every right to be there, Chaddy. There was nobody really busting a gut at top speed to get in there, was there?
No, it was a little bit laboured, wasn't it, to make a forward run into the box. Terrific diagonal pass. I think it was Sean McAllister. Yeah. What a great diagonal pass that was. And just got round the back of Arsenal, but like you say, Darren, a little bit laboured in terms of the movement to get into the box to support that forward pass.
That's not a bad ball in, that, is it?
Right across the 6-yard box. You'd like to see 1 or 2 Everton players really busting the gut to get on the end of that.
Here's Mills. Just couldn't get the ball under control. Yeah, Tait couldn't have done any more. But the opportunity goes begging, and Arsenal are in possession once again with Seryan. Plays it down the right-hand side towards Amario Cozier-Dubry. Cozier-Dubry brings it in field, stopped by Ishi Samuel-Smith. Arsenal keep it alive. Roman Dixon's there before Sego Jr. Now then, Jang Pata prods it wide to Katia Tait. Not sure who that was meant for, but he won't claim that as a 1-2, surely will he? But it's a great run by Tait. He's made the best of it. He's inside the penalty area. Can he get a shot away? Yes, he can. Good save by the goalkeeper. Well, he might have got lucky originally, Katia Tait, but he certainly made the best of his good fortune, Chaddy.
Terrific 1-2 down the line. Carried on running 30 yards up the pitch and gets a strike off. But like you say, little bit of fortune early on. Certainly did really well to make himself a yard or 2 in the box and get his shot off there. Just tried to beat the goalkeeper at his near post. Just wonder, it's hard to see from this angle if we could have gone across the goalkeeper to that back post and really open up the angle, but done really great to get onto his left foot. 2 defenders in the way, just had to hit the target. Good save in the end.
Just coming into the game now, Katia Tait. Player I like to watch. He's got that ability to not look as if he's running at good top speed, but then he flicks the ball past the defender and he's away. Corner kick, Everton. High, hanging, Reece Welsh is underneath it, can't get a touch on it. And James Sweet, possibly inadvertently, guides it back to the goalkeeper. But better from Everton, Chaddy.
Yeah, better, more intense in terms of going forward. Definite game plan in terms of letting Arsenal have the ball in front, and when Arsenal try to penetrate and try to push the ball through the lines into midfield, Everton look to nick it and break. And I think Arsenal have had probably the lion's share of possession in this opening 17 minutes, but Everton do look a team who are a threat and have got a goal in them when they do nick it and go and attack like now.
Billy Crellin, by and large, untroubled. And the forward ball from Jang Pata, not on the same wavelength as Francis Okoronkwo, but I think even if they were on similar wavelengths, he wasn't catching that.
That's where we just need a little bit more care in the Everton side in terms of at the early stages of the game. The game plan seems to be working. I think Paul Tait and Keith Southern will be quite happy with that. Just a little bit more care when they break and be able to break forward. Just too many unforced errors at the minute in terms of when in possession of the football.
Okoronkwo puts Monlouis under pressure. The Arsenal defender, though, cool as a cucumber, doesn't panic. He's not under much pressure, considering he's got the ball inside his own penalty area. He should be under a bit more pressure than that, shouldn't he? I like Sean McAllister, who was a bit closer than he realised. Got too much on it, and it's over the crossbar. But we can't allow centre-halves to just waltz out, can we?
And I don't think you can press in ones. I think when the Everton players decide to go and press, I think it's got to be in ones and twos and threes and fours. And like Sean McAllister there, he's probably decided to just go and goes with aggression. What I liked is when he won possession, he picked his eyes up and seen the goalkeeper off his line. Just couldn't quite execute the finish. But I'd like to see this Everton side really go together when they go and try and win the ball and be able to nick it a bit like now and get some good numbers and good bodies around these young Arsenal players when they're in possession.
Everton have played their way nicely into the game here, but that's a super ball down the left-hand side to Sego Jr. Roman Dixon stands his ground. Sego Jr. twisting and turning. Dixon goes to ground. And across to the back stick will be tidied up by Ishi Samuel-Smith. No, it won't. He loses out. And it's a chance. Well blocked by Eli Campbell. Amario Cozier-Dubry with the attempt on goal. And just a little bit of hesitancy at the back there.
I think Samuel Smith's just got to be a little bit stronger at the back post, a little bit more aggressive. Initially defended the back post really well from a nice ball that was just stood up to the back post, but then just got a little bit lapse in terms of his concentration more than anything, I think, and just allowed a second bite at the cherry for the Arsenal forward.
Corner kick for the Gunners. 0-0, approaching 20 minutes here at Southport. Here comes the corner. It's directed goalwards, and it's Roman Dixon who hooks it away. Just a little bit of defending for Everton to do here. But again, Billy Crellin, by and large, well protected. It's a packed 6-yard box, isn't it? Every single player inside the penalty area seems to be inside the 6-yard box.
Real ploy there to put Billy Crellin under pressure, wasn't there? He did great, fisting the ball away.
And it comes. Billy Crellin comes a long way and grabs it safely.
I always think it's a difficult one for goalkeepers, that where nearly every player is right around the goalkeeper, and the ball gets played in quite high on top of him.
Like a nudge in the back of Stan Mills, but he gets it under control, nods it forward to Jang Pater, who helps it on. It's volleyed away by Zayn Monlouis, and it'll be a throw-in for Everton on this near side. He was schooled at Fleetwood Town, Billy Crellin, so we won't be too phased by a packed 6-yard box, will he?
Seen him play as a young 16-year-old when I had the youth team at Wigan Athletic, and realised at that time there what a good young goalkeeper he was, and then obviously watched him closely with his move to Everton, and nice to see him progressing.
And on the bench a couple of times as well. That's a great ball by Eli Campbell on the volley to Katia Kouyaté. Sean McAllister makes a forward run. Katia Kouyaté skips past the fullback, gets it into the penalty area, cleared away by Walters. I think we can get the ball to Katia Kouyaté as often as possible. We'll get some joy down that left-hand side. Here's Cottrell. Chipped forward by Reece Welsh. The shadows lengthening here at Hague Avenue. Zayan's pass is picked up by Kouyaté.
Lovely evening, Darren.
Yeah, beautiful. Real end of season midweek.
I overcooked it with the coat I put on this evening.
Better safe than sorry.
Can always take a layer off.
So he'll be sweating cobs when he arrived here tonight. Hague Avenue. Here's Walters. Reaching the midway point in this game. It's a war of attrition really so far. Not many chances at either end. Katia Kouyaté with a shot saved at the near post by Noah Cooper, and Zayan with a missed half volley, and Walters with a header from close range that also missed the target. And Jang Pater is quite rightly penalised for a foul on the young Irishman in the Arsenal midfield, Jack Henry Francis.
Be interesting to see if Paul Tait and Keith Southern can work out and can try and get a way of being able to press these Arsenal players a little bit higher up. They've got a little bit too much time, haven't they, in the back line? You alluded to it before, Darren, that a little bit too much time for the two centre halves just to knock it to each other and take the time and pick their eyes up and find a pass. And I always think if you give good players too much time in possession, then you'll make them look even better. I think it's important to try and get them under pressure and force errors and force mistakes.
Now that it might come into the penalty area now. No, it doesn't. It's an easy one for Billy Crellin. They've not done a great deal with the possession, have they?
No, I was going to say, just to caveat what I've just said, they're not actually hurting Everton. There's no real attempts on goal. There's the two attempts that we had earlier on, or 10 minutes or so ago, but they're not playing through Everton. So in one respect, we're quite happy about that. But then just to gain that momentum and be able to be in more of an attacking sort of force within the game, I think they'll just like to try and press them a little bit higher and force off this Arsenal side deep into their own half, just like that's happened there, and we now get a throw in that deep into the half.
Nice bit of aggression from Stan Mills, who felt that he was fouled by Lino Souza. Throw in for Everton. 24 minutes on the clock here at Southport. Roman Dixon has got a long throw in his armoury. Plenty of players to aim at. The Wilson Campbell are inside the penalty area. Long throw, flicked on by Mills at the near post and saved by the goalkeeper. But he knew what he was doing, didn't he? Stanley Mills.
Nice header at the near post, wasn't it? Something you don't often see at this level of football.
No.
A long throw, and it's
some weapon, isn't it, if it's used properly?
I think it's something that you see a lot in the league, certainly the lower leagues. But at this level of football, it's not something that's often used, and was used to good effect there.
There's Tait. Unfortunate there, just ran out of space.
Positive play by Tait. He's been positive, hasn't he, this season so far? He's got the ball.
There is, to all intents and purposes, and as much as people will say otherwise, there is an end of season feeling to this, isn't there? This is a real nothing at stake game of football. Foul, surely, referee. Tait, well, he was pulled and then possibly tripped as well. But the referee, well, as long as he's consistent, that's all you want, isn't it? If you're going to let things go, fine, but make sure you're consistent.
Hasn't given a lot, has he, so far?
No. As long as players know what they're dealing with, that's all you want, isn't it?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's a decent ball. Nice little take as well by Sago Jr. Sousa in support if he needs him. Plays it to Cottrell. Back to Lino Sousa. Arsenal again keeping the ball but not hurting Everton. And McAllister will nip it and pinch that. Oh, strong in the run. Fouled. Play on, says the referee. Okoronkwo feeds it round to Tait. Kayarte's got chance. It's a great ball in, and Stanley Mills finishes. It's a super Everton goal. It's a peach of a cross from the left-hand side by Tait. It was begging for somebody to head it home, and Stanley Mills duly obliged. 1-0.
That goal had everything we've been asking for, Darren, didn't it? What great pressure from Sean McAllister initially. Really put some pressure on them Arsenal players. Managed to nick possession, broke. Was probably fouled. Good play on by the referee. We've just mentioned that. What a cross in. And Stanley Mills breaking the box as he's done so recently, so often, and manages to get another goal to his tally.
He moves within one of Tom Cannon, and he's got just over a game and a half to get it. I'm sure he will.
Great position from Stanley Mills, just inside the full back, just peeling off the back of the centre half, just in between the two of them. Cross to the back post, goal. But terrific that from Everton. Everything that we've sort of been highlighting, that we've alluded to in terms of running forward, breaking the box, being a little bit more aggressive in terms of trying to win the ball back, and some good quality as well with the cross. And as I say, good refereeing as well, because there was probably a foul in there along the way on Sean McAllister. So that was a good play all round. And you called it, didn't you, Tait? He was the danger man. Peach of a ball in. One ball forward here, dealt with by Eli Campbell. Be a throw for Everton. He's full of it now, Katia, isn't he?
Just about to say that'll give a shot in the arm, won't it, to this Everton side, and the opposite of that is this Arsenal side who've played with such patience and been able to stroll the ball around to one to each other and have some time and space in possession. Now will probably find themselves under a little bit more pressure from this Everton side, who've been given that boost from the goal.
Here we go. They've had to foul him to stop him on that occasion. And Tait is starting to enjoy himself.
He's doing well on the left-hand side, isn't he? We've seen him play up front as well, but even nice and tidy in possession there, holds on to it, rolls his man and wins the foul. So excellent play from Tait, and he can really build on the start of the game with his performance. He can build now throughout the game and go on to continue to impress.
Nice little touch from Sean McAllister, who'll try and head off the backpack but couldn't do so. And to be fair, Chaddy, if ever a game needed a goal, it was this one.
Did indeed. It'd be interesting to see, won't it, if Arsenal change that style, that slow possession-based style. I don't think they will.
No, I don't. Here's Walters. Sweet gives it away. Here's Okoronkwo. Here's our man, Tait, taking on Jack Sweet. Past him again. Okoronkwo, I don't think he was expecting that, and it came off his foot rather than an attempt on goal. He might claim it as an attempt on target, but good play again from Tait, and I don't think Okoronkwo was expecting the defender to miss it.
No, he caught him by surprise, isn't it? Great play by Tait again out on the left. He's had a brilliant 5 minutes there, and down the line, good ball in. Just miscontrolled more than anything inside the box. But Stanley Mills breaking the box again. He's looking to join the attack now with a little bit more freedom, and this has been a good 5 minutes for Everton.
Nice layoff from Mills to Jensen Metcalf. Samuel Smith. Mills was always going to get clattered then. It wasn't the best ball from Metcalf on that occasion. Here's Henry Francis looking for Cottrell. Breaks for Seryan, but it's cleared.
Thought that was a foul there myself, and Paul Tait shouting on as well. But the referee has let a lot go, but I think in certain occasions, if there's a clear foul, I think you
still got to blow, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sego Jr. inside the penalty area. Oh, Sousa goes down under the challenge of Stanley Mills. The referee gives a penalty, and Arsenal, within a few minutes of going behind, have now got a chance to level. And at first glance, few complaints from me.
Good run from Sousa on the blind side there. Was it Sean McAllister? But great run inside. Gets the wrong side of him, and a little bit clumsy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's coming together. Stanley Mills.
Yeah. Good run just on his blind side, and before he knew it, he was just the wrong side of him, wasn't he? And
had to give it, didn't he?
In his desperation to get back in, just bundles him over, but definite penalty, unfortunately.
Ben Cottrell is the oldest player in the Arsenal side at 21, and he goes straight down the middle and restores parity. Everton 1, Arsenal 1, and that's disappointing on a number of levels, but probably because it's come at the end of our best spell of the game.
Yeah, disappointing from 20 minutes to the half an hour mark. Everton have really established themselves in the game, been the dominant side, gone and got themselves a goal, and then really had a shot in the arm from that goal, and the last 5 minutes have been much the better side, and just goes to show, just when you think you've got on top, you've just got to keep the back door shut, and Arsenal find a way through their quality to get back in the game, and it's a reset button now for these young Everton players, and will regain the initiative, and can they get back in the lead?
Just keep doing what you've been doing for the last 5 or 10 minutes is the message, isn't it?
Well, they had the momentum, haven't they? It'll be interesting to see now if that momentum shift goes back to Arsenal, but good to see them starting back on the front foot from the kick-off, and they need to hold on to that momentum, as you say, that they managed to build in the game.
You're thrown over on the left-hand side. The game's come to life. It was rather pedestrian for a 20-25 minutes, but starting to enjoy it now. Can Everton get back on top? Throw in for the Toffees. Jack Patter makes himself available. Welsh. Walters has it under real pressure from Sean McAllister. Tait gets involved as well, and between them they win a throw-in for the Toffees down by the corner flag on the far side.
That's come to life a bit more, the game, hasn't it? We've had 2 goals, but both benches getting involved. All of a sudden you can hear the Arsenal staff encouraging and shouting on instructions to their team, and all of a sudden there's a belief amongst both teams, you feel, that they can go on and win the game. Mehmet
Ali, by the way, is the head coach of Arsenal Under-21s. Mertesacker is the academy manager, and Jack Wilshere is the head coach of the Under-18s. So they do believe in keeping it in the family. Now, here goes Amario Cozier-Dubry. He's a little bit isolated, and it's a good challenge from Jensen Metcalf. He had to get that right, didn't he?
Yeah, he's done well in there, Jensen, hasn't he? Both in possession and out, showing a real attitude and willingness to get back and help his team on that occasion. And then in possession, he's managed to be able to dictate playing along the ball, but he's certainly started the game well in this first half an hour.
You see, and good challenge from Jack Patter. Now then, bit of space for Stanley Mills. To the feet of Okoronkwo. Nice turn by Okoronkwo. Unfortunate to stumble, but he does well to retain possession. Gets it back off Stanley Mills. Outnumbered in the end.
Too many touches there from young Francis. He can just lay the ball off a little bit quicker. Everton breaking in numbers and lay it off and get yourself back up the pitch. Probably 1, 2, 3 touches too many and just managed to get outnumbered.
Need to get him involved a little bit more, don't we, Okoronkwo? Or he needs to get himself involved a little bit more. One of the two. Sego Jr. takes on Roman Dixon. And wins a corner. It's always a bit of a problem for the cameraman when the sun is about to go behind the Jack Carr stand away to our left here. Beautiful evening here. The seaside resort of Southport, one apiece, Everton and Arsenal. Everybody in a blue jersey back inside the box, and again Arsenal flood the 6-yard box. McClellan got no sight of the ball at all, headed away by Reece Welsh and volleyed wide by Amario Cozier-Dubry.
He had as much sight of the ball then as I had looking into the sun.
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Can't really see very well down the at the Jack Carr end. Dixon. Billy Crellin sweeps it forward. Lovely flick by Okoronkwo. Jankpata to Stan Mills. He's going to look to switch it for Katia Tait, who wins the first ball. Okoronkwo goes for the second and wins it, but Arsenal scramble the ball away. I think it was Jack Sweet, the young full-back, who got in there and hacked it to safety, but played the percentage game there. Okoronkwo just have a little go and see where the ball bounces.
I like that from Okoronkwo on the move in the box, which we highlighted before. People, can they join the attack? Can they get on the move in the box? And he just took a gamble there on that second ball and just managed to nick in front of the goalkeeper and won the initial header as well. Halid Jankpata did really well, nice and close, the two strikers to each other. Been able to build through them two and made an opportunity out of very little there, did Okoronkwo.
There's Reece Welsh to Metcalf. Great ball to Samuel Smith. Off to Kiyate. Across comes Jack Sweet. That time he gets a foot in. It'll be a throw in for Everton.
I think we need to keep getting the ball out to Katia out on that left hand side. He's been a threat, hasn't he? He's been a thorn in this young Arsenal side, and if we can keep getting the ball out there, he'll make things happen.
Jankpata to Samuel Smith. It was all a little bit too close though. Been a competitive first half, hasn't it, at times?
I think since the goal that level's been raised, hasn't it? For both sides. I think both sides have believe they can go on to win the game, and after that initial end of season feel that we had to the game, I think it has come to life a little bit more in this last 15 minutes.
Sean McAllister just manages to squeeze it through to Metcalf. He helps it on to Roman Dixon. Takes the ball in field outside of the foot, but can't find Sean McAllister. On the far side, but that seems to be the plan. Get the ball to Katia Tait. He's certainly got the beating of the fullback, Jack Sweet, hasn't he? James Sweet.
Yeah, he's done that on a couple of occasions, hasn't he? 1-2 this time. That was probably more planned than on the last occasion, but he's certainly got the beating over, as you say, over on that left hand side.
McAllister. I'd say, lovely bit of skill, lovely bit of footwork. Then he gets to the byline, crosses into the penalty area, and it needs dealing with by the goalkeeper. But he really is on blob tonight, Katia Tait. More good play, more positive play.
He's a player you don't mind taking risk, isn't he? I think on one or two occasions Everton have given the ball away a little bit cheaply, but with Katia, where Katia's concerned, if they can get the ball out to him, you don't mind him taking that risk and looking to be positive and beating his man and getting crosses in, and that's what his game's all about, to get you off your seat, to excite you, to try and make things happen.
Giving James Sweet a torrid time. Got Sweet all wrapped up, hasn't he? Corner kick for
tasty work.
In it comes, bunched into the air by Cooper. Welsh will challenge, headed away, still inside the box. McAllister gets a shot away, caught that well, it was blocked. Now then, chance for Arsenal to counter here. It's Cozier Dubry for the Gunners. Wide on this left-hand side is Sego Jr. Arsenal have turned defence into attack very, very swiftly here. Edge of the penalty area with Sayan, trying to work it onto his left foot. Back to Sego Jr. again. And Everton have got sufficient bodies back. But that was symptomatic of the last 10 or 15 minutes, wasn't it? One end to the other.
Yeah, Everton adopting the Arsenal corner of everyone around the goalkeeper as well, and but didn't come off for them. Arsenal broken. What I like to see with the attitude and the character of the Everton players to get back in and get behind the ball and stem that dangerous counter-attack.
Here's Monlouis, the Arsenal skipper, to Jack Henry Francis. Former Fulham player Jack Henry Francis. Actually, Samuel Smith will get there first, and Eli Campbell will empty it into the stand over on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for the Gunners, and we've got 4 minutes or so to go, and Tait and Keith Southern will be reasonably pleased, Chaddy. It'll be a case of good, but could do better.
Yeah, I think so. I think the shape of the side's been good. I don't think they've allowed the ball to come through the midfield.
Can he get there? Mills could get there, but he couldn't take it with him. Go on, Chaddy.
As in that case there, I don't think they're allowing Arsenal to play through that middle part of the pitch. I think that's where they're winning the ball and breaking. I think they've had more of a threat since the goal and since the half-hour mark. But obviously Arsenal have come back into the game a little bit. They've started the half well, and they're finishing the half well.
Slid forward by Sego Jr. Cottrell. Played from danger. Well, there won't be much added time at the end of the 45, if any. Can't think of any stoppages in the game.
I think what they will be happy with, the Everton coaching staff, is the limited chances that Arsenal have had. I think initially they had the two early on, didn't they? But since then, and they've scored obviously from the penalty. But in terms of clear-cut chances, there's been very little for this Arsenal side, and off the other end, they have looked to create and to score goals as well. So as you say, have done quite well, this Everton young side, in the first half. But I think there should be a belief that they can go on and do better and go and win the game.
Now that is not a good sight. Stan Mills went down before the goal kick could be taken, and just asked for the physio to be sent on. Referee spotted him. Didn't quite see what happened there. Don't know whether he's fallen awkwardly or twisted something, or he's got a knock. But we don't want to see Stan Mills sitting out, that's for sure. And now there will be some added time. I cursed it, didn't I?
I missed what happened there to
Stan.
Stan.
I couldn't see it.
He'll be keen to continue having already scored a goal, and as you say, looking to finish the season as the top goal scorer.
I've got the best spec in the shade here, by the way, haven't I? As the sun works its way round.
Not opened my eyes for the last 10 minutes.
You've got two gingers doing the commentary here, not a tube of sun cream between us, and the sun blazing down. And communication is, I think Stan will be okay. He's limping a little bit gingerly. He certainly won't want to come off, as you say. He's already got one, and he's breathing down the neck of Tom Cannon at the top of the under-21 leaders board. And I think he's just saying to Matty the physio there, don't take me off, I'll be fine. Well, there's no movement on the bench, that's for sure. So
they might as well get to half time, hadn't they? With only a minute to play. Get to half time, get him in, have a look at him, and make a decision from there.
Referee will. We can remember what happened before the break. I think it's going to be a throw-in for Arsenal on the right-hand side. And Stanley Mills is allowed back on. Seems to be running okay. Could have been one of them, whatever it was, that just stings for a minute or two and then quickly settles. Here's Monlouis to Sousa. Mills to Okoronkwo. With hold up play, back to Mills again. Showing no ill effects. Roman Dixon does well. Back to Welsh. Jetson Mekov always looks over his shoulder to see what's available ahead of him, doesn't he, before he takes receipt of the football.
Great trait to have, isn't it? You think of the best midfield players over the years, they've all had that, haven't they? Your Paul Scholeses and your Lampards and your real good footballers. The head's always on a swivel in the middle of the pitch, and they know the next pass before the balls even come to them.
No one better than that than Gareth Barry, was there?
Yeah, he's another one, yeah.
Perfect at it. Here's Campbell. Billy Crullen. 2 minutes of added time.
I think Everton will be keen to get in for half time now, won't they? With the injuries to Stanley Mills, I think the staff and players will both be keen to get in and just get that assessed and make sure they can get in and rebuild for the second half.
Billy Crullen has the ball again at his feet. Jensen Mekov. Campbell. Nearly a great ball to Katia Kiati, but it breaks down and Arsenal got a chance to counter. Henry Francis plays it wide, but Campbell's there again. So dependable at the back for this Everton Under-21 side.
Quick, isn't he, as well? Got good physicality, so can always get back in and just mop up anything that's needed to.
Good play by Everton here. Now, Jang Pata. Can he release Okoronkwo? Oh, it's an awful ball from Jang Pata, and he knows it. Far too much on it, and that's a shame because the build-up play was quite nice.
Yeah, he's done some really good things in the game, hasn't he? And it looks overly disappointed with that, and just lacked a little bit of understanding the front two at times. Someone's made a run and the pass hasn't come, or vice versa. So that's be something that they'll be looking to improve upon into the second half. But there's definitely a threat there, not only with the front two, but the midfield players for Everton joining in as well.
Lino Sousa does well to pirouette away from Okoronkwo. Sean McAllister puts Walters under pressure. A little bit too much pressure. Walters never really had it under control, did he? But it was a foul.
I like that from Sean when he really jumps from midfield and goes and gets after these Arsenal players. I think that shows great tenacity in terms of his attitude and his aggression to go and win the ball back. And it's what Evertonians like to see, isn't it, absolutely. As well? Someone who wants to go and win the ball back.
Well, we've got a piece of film for you at half-time, by the way. Earlier this week I was down at Bramley Moor Dock as the final roof truss for the north and south stands was elevated into place, and we've got a nice piece of film reporting back from the new stadium at half-time. So just delay it a little bit before we put the kettle on. Time's up in the first half here at Southport. It's 1 apiece between Everton and Arsenal. Enjoy the pick of the action. And then the piece of film from Bramley Moor Dock. Myself and Nick Chadwick will be back with you in round about 13 minutes time. 1 apiece. Welcome to a quite beautiful day down here on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey. A beautiful day at the new Everton Stadium site, and a significant day as well because the final roof truss for the north-south stand has been elevated and snapped into place. And to tell us all about the process, I'm joined by Steve, the Senior Construction Manager. Just tell us in layman's terms, if you can, Steve, what's happened this morning?
So this morning, fantastic milestone for us to get to. But the last truss has just gone in the air. So as you can see, it's being supported by the crane at the moment, just being fixed into position. So at about 7:30 this morning, started the shift. The truss was rigged to the crane, and it was lifted about 8:30. So it's quite a complex process. It took a lot of planning.
I can imagine.
So it's a significant milestone for us, because it's obviously the final truss lift that goes into the south roof. So the north roof, which was complete a couple of weeks ago and just been de-jacked, the south roof's following about a month behind. What that does, that opens up lots of other work fronts to enable the stand to be completed. So as you can see, the lower tier of the stand has been left out. That's part of the plan, which gives us access to erect the roof. Now that the roof is erected, it allows us to take all the temporary trestles out and complete the stands, basically. So over the next 2 months, you will see the north and south stands come to completion and allow further activities to start on the roof. We've got the mega screens to start. So we install the support steelwork that holds the massive TV screens that are going up. I think there's something like 1,200-inch TV screens in comparison.
High definition, I hope.
Yes. So that allows that to start. We can complete what we call the barrel steelwork, which is the steelwork which forms a nice curve on the perimeters of the stadium, and obviously most importantly allows the follow-on trades to start. So the follow-on trade for the roof sheeters, getting the cladding on the roof will commence and sort of begin the June time.
How much of the actual assembly of the trusses is done here on site, Steve?
A significant amount. As you can see, the truss sections themselves are typically up to about 70 metres long each when they're assembled. Ultimately, when it goes in the air, we've got typically 170 metre long truss built.
And the accuracy is unbelievable, isn't it? It's going to be to the millimetre.
We get it to, the tolerances we've got is within 20 millimetres of length.
Oh, right, okay.
So, and up to now, all of them have come, well under that. So we have achieved some good tolerances.
How complicated will it be to take away these temporary blue steel structures, the support mechanisms?
So the temporary trestles, as you can see on the north roof, we've just removed them. You can see the remnants of the last ones being loaded up now to go back to our factory. It's quite a tricky process. We have to get the crane hooks through the middle of the roof. We leave openings up in the roof to get the crane hooks through to get it out. But before we take them out, we've got a complex de-jacking process to go through. So typically on the top of the trestles, it houses 400 tonnes of jacking capacity, hydraulic jacking capacity. So there's a pair of 200-tonne jacks on the top of each trestle. It's got a fancy header beam that allows it to be de-jacked in incremental stages. We have an analysis carried out to work out this de-jacking sequence, which brings down each trestle by approximately 25 millimetres each time. And that's a process that takes, it took 2 days to do on the north, and on the south it's a little bit more complicated because we not only get vertical movements to de-jack, we also get some horizontal movement going on, and we have to control that with more jacks. So it's a big engineered operation.
Some process, isn't it?
Yes, the north went really well. It was all done in 2 days, and the deflections in the trusses were very accurate to the predictions that the designers come up with in the temporary work scheme.
The supporters will have seen the designs and the look of the final stadium. The curved roof is very much a part of it. When will that start to be applied?
As you can see, if you look on the west side here, we've actually started some of the curved roof. So we erected the first west rear barrels a week and a half ago. That started the process of the west roof. Coming up, starting next week, we are actually erecting the barrels on the west side of the north roof. So you will see over the next sort of few weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, you will see all these curves start to appear on the edges of the structure.
And they'll get shipped in or wagoned in, will they?
They all come piece small. There's some very fancy shaped pieces there, curved pieces with very odd connections coming off them. So it's took a lot of complex fabrication to get them there. We've got to put them together to again a tight tolerance in the air.
Are you enjoying watching all this come together, Steve?
It's fantastic, yes. Yeah, I love building stadiums. It's yeah, it's what I do.
And what you do very, very well. Here we go. A couple of changes, I think, for Everton over on the far side. Looks like Liam Higgins and Isaac Price are coming on, and Stan Mills is one of the players who has not reappeared for the second half, so that's bitterly disappointing for him. We hope there's nothing too serious there, because Stan Mills is on 15 goals for the season, 1 behind Tom Cannon. But a change has been made. Alajan Pata is off as well. So Isaac Price and Liam Higgins get the chance to impress. The final 45 minutes of the season here at Southport. One fixture to go for the 21s, and that is against Leicester City at Finch Farm a week on Monday. So our season here at Hague Avenue has 45 minutes to go. It's been terrific all season here, really well looked after by Southport Football Club, a fabulous football club. And, some of the few punters who have come here to support the Young Blues tonight.
Liam Higgins and Isaac Price, both good experience at this level, haven't they?
Yep.
Obviously, they've been really good players and played lots of games at this level, so that shouldn't inconvenience this Everton side too much.
Scored 3 goals this season as well, Higgins. And here comes Isaac Price, early involvement for him, scampering forward with the ball at his feet. Plays it to Sean McAllister. Bright start to the second half. Half-hearted appeals for handball not given. Sean McAllister trying to create space to get a crossing or win a corner. It's a bright enough start, isn't it, on the front foot after 30 seconds?
It's a good start, isn't it? And it's nice to be able to see the end of the pitch as well this half, Darren, without that.
Yeah, the sun.
Talking about that bright sunshine has just gone down behind the stands, so.
Well, you will bring a coat instead of your sunglasses.
I'll be glad of that coat in 10 minutes. It'll be
starting to get chilly. Yeah, I'd borrow it actually. Corner kick for Everton inside the first minute of this second period. It'd be fantastic to get off to a goal scoring start in the second half, 1 apiece. Stanley Mills with the opening goal, levelled from the penalty spot by Ben Cottrell. Corner comes in, it's into the arms of the goalkeeper. Cooper bowls it out. Not a bad little bowl out either. Thankfully Ishi Samuel Smith stands firm, but then he's a bit casual. Bobble takes it away from Sean McAllister, and chance for Arsenal to break through here, but Billy Crellin sharply off his line to gather the ball safely. We can keep this tempo up for the next 44 minutes. Ishi Samuel Smith. Tait. Nice little ball to McAllister. That was a trip on McAllister. Free kick Everton on this near left-hand side.
And a good start to this second half, as you say, that on both sides looking to stamp their authority on the game, and some good play again by Katia. He's had a real good game so far tonight, Katia Tait.
Yeah, nice little slipped ball through to McAllister, who gets his ankles wrapped by Rule Walters, who had the temerity to protest to the referee. Now then, chance to get a good delivery in here. Sean McAllister has got Okoronkwo, Katia Tait, Price, Welsh, Campbell to aim for. Higgins, Metcalf and Ishi Samuel Smith on the edge of the box. And it comes from McAllister. It's a great ball in, like a shirt pull then. It's still bouncing around inside the penalty area. Metcalf on the volley, takes a deflection. Be a corner kick, and that looked on its way from here, didn't it?
Lovely technique on the volley from just on the edge of the box there from Metcalf, and just caught it sweet, didn't he? But just deflected wide. Great technique though. Just falls lovely for him on that right foot, nice and relaxed.
Decent effort. Everton very much on the front foot in the opening 3 minutes of the second half. McAllister back to Metcalf. The return ball from McAllister wasn't the best, and now Arsenal have a one-on-one here with the Mario Cozier-Dubry running at Roman Dixon. Got players up in support. Picks out Sego Jr. Sego Jr. doesn't get past Liam Higgins. And Sean McAllister on the ball there now will be quite relieved. Looks for Katia Tait. Get it under control. Jack Sweet comes across to challenge, gets a foot in. And Katia stumbles to the ground, and Arsenal can bring it away. But what a lively start to the second half.
It's twice Arsenal have broke, isn't it? It's almost looks to go one-on-one, but I like the identity of this Everton side in terms of the recovery runs. I think it says a lot about the character of the team. I think it says a lot about the coaching staff and the values of the people here at the academy, and the times that Arsenal have broken look dangerous. There's a real willingness and intensity to get back in, as there should be, but that's not always the case, particularly when it's towards the end of the season on a Friday night, as we said. So every credit to the players for getting back in and dealing with the threat that this Arsenal side have held early in the second half from them counter-attacks.
Isaac Price, who played for Everton's first team against Arsenal at the Emirates on the last day of last season. Everton went to Arsenal having secured Premier League safety a few days earlier. Arsenal won 5-1, but it didn't really matter, and Isaac Price got some Premier League action that afternoon. Here's James Sweet. Awful ball straight to Sean McAllister, who then took his eye off it for a split second and lost possession.
Quite a bit of interest in Isaac, isn't there, Darren? I think it's important he really has a good think about the football club he's at and what the football club has done for him and how great this football club is. So I remember I was a young player and wanted to leave, and I had ambitions to go and forge a career for myself once I was down the pecking order, and thought I would go out into the Championship and do really well and score some goals and get back into the Premier League. But it's very difficult, and certainly when you're not at a football club that's got the same standing as what Everton has, it's not as easy as what you may think. So
grass isn't always greener, is it?
I think he's got to have a real strong think about the football club he's at and what a wonderful football club this is. And
that's a foul. Oh, that has to be a foul.
He's forgot his whistle, the referee.
Oh dear me. I'm all for letting things go, but Katia Tait then just skipped past the Arsenal player and no attempt to play the ball. Paul Tait was out of his chair in an instant. I don't blame him.
Right in front of us, definite foul.
There we go. Got that language style, hasn't he? Referee, you'll be... Well, Mr. Miller, you may well watch this later on. I hope you do. You'll probably wince when you see that.
Like we've said before, we like the game being allowed to flow, and I think it's good that
I think he's refereed it well.
Yeah, I think it's important that tackling and that contact isn't taken out of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But also a foul is a foul. You can't just swipe people's feet.
You cannot rewrite the rules. Here's Monlouis for the Gunners. And again, good pressing from Everton. It's a great ball, look at that. Walters picks out Sago Jr. on the far side. He'll run at Roman Dixon, bring it in field, chips it into the penalty area, but gets it all wrong. It's behind everybody that's in there. Picked up by Kozia Dubry. It's a Sweet just about keeps it in play. The cross is just too high, but Cottrell's in there, and Ben Cottrell keeps his composure to slam the ball home from close range past Billy Krellin. And Arsenal, having been a goal behind, now lead Everton at Southport by 2-1.
Uses his body excellently, Ben Cottrell there for Arsenal. Ball to the back post, and just managed to get control of the ball and then shielded it for that extra split second perfectly, which enabled him to get that half a yard shot in. And the ball,
isn't it?
Stood up to the back post. There's the touch, and he just manages to just fend off the challenge before he slams it home. So some excellent play from Arsenal's number 10. Disappointing after Everton have made a good start to this second half.
Second goal of the night for Ben Cottrell, 21 years of age. He's played for the first team, as I mentioned. Been at Arsenal since he was 8 years of age. That's his second goal of the night, and it gives the Gunners, in the 53rd minute, a 2-1 lead. Could have been also different had the referee spotted the blatant foul on Tait. But we go again.
Showed more intent, didn't they, with that attack, Arsenal? Both fullbacks bombing on, both looking to overlap or underlap was the case for the goal, the cross that come in. But on the other side, the phase of play just before that, there was an overlap as well from the Arsenal fullback, and all of a sudden they started throwing numbers forward. It just caught Everton napping and just unnerved this back line from Everton, and find ourselves 2-1 down.
There's a Price. Flick the ball forward. There was nobody there waiting for it though. Okoronkwo. McAllister takes over, bursting forward. He's got Tait in support. Plays it to Katia Tait. Katia Tait can't get the ball inside the penalty area. Wasn't the best weighted pass from McAllister to Tait, was it? Goal kick.
Well, Katia went down a bit easily there as well, and I don't think this referee's going to give him much.
No.
Good break initially from Sean McAllister. Important Everton react to going a goal down now. They've been well within this game after that first 5 or 10 minutes where Arsenal had it probably too easy in terms of playing out from the back. I think since then they've got a grip on the game, and they can't get disappointed with conceding that goal.
Can't afford to let Arsenal score again either, can we? As well as looking for the equaliser, we've got to make sure, as you said in the first half, keep the back door shut.
Yeah, definitely. Can't chase the game too early. There's plenty of minutes left to go and get an equalising goal and hopefully a winner. But they just need to make sure that they gain that momentum. That's a good ball in behind.
Higgins will chase it down, but Noah Cooper will get there first, and he had to let the ball go because he'd drifted outside his penalty area. And Arsenal are in a little bit of a mess here, and they're quite fortunate to end up with a goal kick.
Good pressure though, isn't it? That's what we need to see. Pressure high up the pitch, plenty of intent to get back in the game.
Still 35 minutes to go. Okoronkwo again, chasing a seeming lost cause. What's your take on that, Chaddy? 3 touches inside the 6-yard box from a goal kick.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously Mikel Arteta, we were talking about the identity of Arsenal, that's the way he likes to do it, isn't he? It's like they were trying to develop that way of playing, but I think Everton did great there. They allowed that first pass, and you could hear the shouts of go, go, go from behind, and taking that press just real high into the box of Arsenal. And if they do win it there, of course, they're straight in at goal. So, especially being a goal behind, I would be encouraged that Everton have taken or adopting that defensive press really high up the pitch to try and win the ball.
Campbell. McCarr finds Reece Welsh over the top, looking for the run of McAllister. Walters is going to get there for Arsenal. Does well. No panic from Arsenal. Welsh wins the header. Higgins, nice touch. Cottrell's there though for the Gunners. Look at the space on this near side for Crozier-Dubry. James Sweet makes the forward run. Crozier-Dubry plays the ball forward. James Sweet just about gets there. Back to Crozier-Dubry again. Edge of the penalty area. Cottrell on a hat-trick. Tries to slip it through the gap. Doesn't quite come off. Nice footwork by Sean McAllister. Then he's fouled, yes, on this occasion by the Portuguese youngster, Lino Souza. And on that occasion, Mr. Miller does give Everton a free kick.
James Sweet bombing on again there for Arsenal down this right hand side. Fullback's really looking to bomb on, and Katia had lots of joy going forward, but he's just got to make sure that he's switched on and ready to track that run when the fullback goes.
Eli Campbell. Just threatening to take control of the game here, Arsenal, aren't they?
Nice player, Ben Cottrell, for Arsenal. Every time he gets it on that left foot, technically very good. Uses the ball really well. Uses his, although he's quite diminutive, but he uses his stature well.
Well, Crozier-Dubry, he got away from Ishi Samuel-Smith, but he never gave the impression that the ball was completely under his spell. And he slices the cross behind Billy Crellin's goal, and Everton can start again. Everton 1, Arsenal 2. Roman Dixon plays it forward. Good header by Monlouis. There's Cottrell again, but this time Isaac Price goes over, hurries him, and it's a throw-in for Everton. First team have got 5 cup finals left, Chaddy, haven't they?
Yeah, most definitely. Disappointing last night, wasn't it, for everyone concerned, but I think it's important that they dust themselves down now and really attack these next 5 games, because we're moving into the new stadium. It's a massive time, an important time for the football club, and I don't think anybody thought last season we'd be going into the same sort of scenario again this year, but that is obviously the case, and it's now time for everyone to pull together and really get behind the football club and preserve our Premier League status.
As Eli Campbell heads away the cross and Roman Dixon heads it out for a corner kick, but the referee wants a word with somebody. Actually he doesn't. Katia Kiarte, out of your camera, out of your picture rather. There he is. He's on the floor. Yeah, the first team, the atmosphere last night was absolutely unbelievable. It was mind-blowing. It was. We were in the commentary position, myself and Snods, and the noise when the players came out and the atmosphere before the game was just... It was emotional. It gets you, doesn't it? It really does get you. Snods and I couldn't speak just before the game. We were just took the headphones off, listened to the noise. It was absolutely unbelievable. And punters are going to be needed now, aren't they?
More than ever.
I know the punters are probably tired and they haven't got a great deal more to give, but we just need final push.
More than ever.
The last 5 games.
Like you say, the scenes before the game, you see, it's absolutely incredible, and it really is a unique football club. And
there's no supporters like them. No,
there's so much love for the football club, and we can all have our thoughts on why the football club's in the position it is, but everyone's got to pull together now for these next 5 games, because it can be a difference. You know, it wasn't last night in terms of the result. I think Newcastle are a really, really good side, by the way, and I think the way we started the game was probably testament to the atmosphere and what was generated at Goodison, but Newcastle's quality in the end came through, but that doesn't mean that's going to be the case in every game, and everybody's got to play their part now and really get behind the players and the manager and the football club and have one big push, and then let's sort out every other issue after that and move forward as a football club after that. But these next 5 games are absolutely vital for all concerned, and at the end of the day everyone's got one thing in common, that they absolutely love Everton Football Club, and everybody wants the same thing.
Leicester City on Monday. As all our cup finals rolled into one. Owen Barker is on, as you can see. Katia Kiarte limping off, so big disappointments tonight with injuries. Stan Mills has already gone off. He went off at half-time, and Katia Kiarte is off as well. But a chance for young Owen Barker, who's a nice, tidy footballer, to show what he can do and make sure that he's in Paul Tait's thoughts during the summer. Again, a packed 6-yard box. Waits for the ball. In it comes. And Cottrell almost headed in his hat-trick goal then. And Paul Tait would have been annoyed if Ben Cottrell is winning a header from a corner, Chaddy. Yeah, probably the smallest player on the pitch, but Liam Hughes come on as sub at half-time, caught napping in terms of round the back stick, just loses Ben Cottrell there. He should do better actually once he's there. Free header, 5 yards out. It's actually a good challenge on the line just to keep it at 2-1. Paul Tait would have been livid had Ben Cottrell scored a header. Here's Cottrell's corner, in it comes, headed away, and then well wide by Sir-Jan, away by Metcalf. The pace of Liam Higgins there, trying to get around the back of the 2 Arsenal defenders. He'll chase it down all the way. Noah Cooper keeps his composure. Kozia Dewberry turns away from Samuel Smith. Samuel Smith though comes back for more, wins the challenge, and it's a throw-in. 63 minutes nearly on the clock, and a 4th substitute for Everton. We'll see Martin Sheriff replace Francis Okoronkwo. Worked hard out of possession, Okoronkwo, hasn't he? Hasn't really had too many chances and too many things to feed off. Worked hard out of possession. Like to see a little bit more movement in the box when balls are coming into the box, just to get on the end of 1 or 2 things. And the chance he did have just bounced away from him, didn't it? And caught him by surprise a little bit. But his time will come again in terms of this level of football, and he's got loads of appearances and loads of developing to do. And in this Under-21 side is Francis Okoronkwo. It's an exciting young player whose time I'm sure is going to come. Travelled with the first team to Selhurst Park and was part of the squad. A 0-0 draw last weekend. But a chance for the tall figure of Martin Sheriff to show what he can do. He's performed well for the under-18s once again this season. And Martin Sheriff, one of those players who'll be looking to make the leap from under-18s to under-21s next season. Here he is chasing it down. A goal at this level would do him the world of good. And he's almost in round the back here. Noah Cooper is on the floor. Sheriff, can he pick out a blue shirt? No, he can't. Jack Francis Henry is there. Sheriff wins it. Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Not give a free kick all night, the referee, and then all of a sudden gives a soft one in the middle of the box.
Absolutely.
Great pressure by Martin Sheriff. What an impact that was straight away.
Definitely.
Talk about making things happen. He was absolutely alive in the middle of the box there.
Probably was a foul, wasn't it? Owen Barker just a little bit too eager to get to the ball. But as you say, the referees let so much go tonight.
I think that was a bit soft. Centre backs dribbling in the middle of their own 6-yard box. I think they're inviting pressure on them.
Absolutely. Here's Cottrell. Sean McAllister nearly overruns it. And Arsenal pick it up again, leading by 2-1 here at Southport. 25 minutes to go. A couple of substitutions about to be made by Mehmet Ali, the head coach of the Arsenal 21s, as Roman Dixon deals with the through ball. Jensen Metcalf finds Isaac Price. Looks for Owen Barker, but it's not a good ball from Isaac Price, and the substitutions they tend to affect the flowing of the game, don't they?
Yeah, they can stem the flow. Exactly what I was going to say. When you start making three to four substitutions, obviously a couple enforced due to injury. Arsenal make a couple here, but hopefully we regain the flow to the game, because both teams started on the front foot, didn't they? Arsenal have managed to get that goal, and then there's been a little lull with the substitutions, and plenty of them during the second half.
Zach Orr is about to come on to replace James Sweet. And another substitution, Matt Smith is on to replace Jack Henry Francis. Zach Orr and Matt Smith on. James Sweet and Jack Henry Francis are off. All 4 outfield substitutes for Everton have been used. They changed it there? Yes, they have. Well, it definitely said number 6, and Jack Henry Francis was the man making his way off, but the Romanian Catalan Kerian, who missed most of last season through injury, has made way for Matt Smith. Late change of mind there from the Arsenal coach, but we are now ready to go again, and Everton have got 23 minutes to wipe out the single goal deficit. Here's Metcalf, clip ball forward towards McAllister. McAllister can't get on the end of it, whacked away by Monlouis. Everton will try to keep the ball in the Arsenal half of the field. They just about managed to do so. Nice bit of juggling skills from Sean McAllister, and it's hacked away by Lino Souza. But that's the sort of intensity we'll need if we're going to get something from this game, Chadwick.
Definitely, yeah. Both teams a little bit younger now, aren't they? So it's important that the senior ones like Sean McAllister really stick at it and really keep making them driving forward runs to try and get us back into this game. Just gone back to giving it away needlessly a couple of times, haven't we?
Metcalf gives it away again there. Right on cue. Oh, nice bit of skill from Cottrell. And then Jensen Metcalf, in his eagerness to try and win it back. He's one of those midfield players who hates giving the ball away. And he's got a nice little edge to him, Jensen Metcalf. I'd really like him as a player. But,
I quite like that. And not the ill-disciplined side of it, but I think the fact he's give the ball away and then he's wanted to go and make amends for it. He's had a little bit of bite. He's got that little bit of bite to him that you need, and I think that tells you a lot about his character. And he's shaking his head there, disappointed with himself that he's given the ball away. And I think the right thing would be to say in terms of coaching him, don't go chasing your mistake. But I think it tells you a lot about his character, his personality. It means something, and he's responsible for his performance and taking accountability that he was the one that gives it away, and I'll be the one to go and win it back.
He doesn't want the season to end. He's missed a lot of it through injury. He's now really imposing himself as a regular at under-21 level, and he will be next season. But he probably wishes there was another 8 or 9 games left of the season.
It's nice to see a young player enjoying his football, isn't it? And he's looked like he's enjoyed the game tonight. I've been impressed with him. I think he's, as I say, both sides of the game he's done well at.
Zach Orr. Go on, Martin, under pressure. And Louis plays it back to Noah Cooper. Noah Cooper won't thank him for that, and that's either a really, really good ball or a rather fortunate clearance.
Played the way out of trouble nicely there, Arsenal, like you say, from the initial clearance, a couple of short passes, and then move the ball out to the other side of the pitch. Some good technical players amongst the visitors here, isn't there, tonight?
Which you'd expect.
Yeah, most definitely. It's nice to see, isn't it?
If the next step for you is the first team at Arsenal, you're going to have a little bit about you. 20 minutes to go here at Southport. Montlouis lofts it forward. Reece Welsh hasn't missed a header all night and doesn't miss that one, but Kozia Dubry reacts quicker than Ishi Samuel-Smith, picks it up for Arsenal and fields it Cottrell. Now it's with Walters. A little bit of space. Walters curls it in, but Roman Dixon had that under control. Owen Barker. Nice bit of footwork, good play. Owen Barker picked up by Roman Dixon. Now he's quick. We haven't seen a lot of this evening, but he's like lightning, Roman Dixon. It's a great run by him again, and he's still going. It's some run this by Dixon, stopped on the edge of the penalty area. Martin Sheriff lays it back to Owen Barker. Barker plays it to this left-hand side. Oh, and Higgins just couldn't take it with him, and there'll be nobody more disappointed than Roman Dixon.
Great run that, wasn't he? He left everyone behind him. That was the problem. He went that quick that no one else could stay with him, and he almost ran out of options when he got to the edge of the box. But nice positive play, and that was the first time, as you say, time we've seen that tonight, and implore him to get forward more like that more often as we chase this equalising goal.
There you go, that's quite nice. Couple of away fans there, a couple of junior gunners. But yeah, he's some sight, Roman Dixon. Saw it a few times against Leicester on Monday night. When he's in full flight, they are not catching him. Good challenge by Sheriff. Oh, and Owen Barker will feel he should have scored. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. It came at Owen Barker quickly. He couldn't have been expecting it. But either side of the goalkeeper, and that probably goes in.
Just rushed it slightly, didn't he, the youngster there? Chance fell to him. Great pressure again by Martin Sheriff.
Yeah.
Chance just fell to him, just rushed it, maybe could have took a touch, took his time and placed it into the corner.
Metcalf towards Martin Sheriff again, gets a turn on the Arsenal defenders, falls for Higgins. Higgins can't find a royal blue jersey, just happening for Liam Higgins at the moment. Kozia Dubry. Metcalf wins it back again for Everton, turns, wants to get Everton on the front foot, looks for McAllister down that right hand side, just about keeps it in play, the Everton skipper. Early ball in, but Zach Orr is there. But decent pressure from Everton, Chadwick.
Good pressure, yeah. I love that run that Sean McAllister makes. He times it so well. That just breaking from midfield and behind the Arsenal back line, and got picked out there. But that's what they need to keep doing. They need to keep running forward with and without the ball, keep breaking lines, keep penetrating the back line and the midfield line of this Arsenal team in order to get the goal back.
Sego Jr. Matt Smith on the edge of the penalty area. A little bit of space for him. Opts not to shoot. Back flick for Cottrell. Cottrell digs out the cross. Eli Campbell wins it. Smith keeps it alive. Away by Ishi Samuel-Smith and by Price. Higgins is there as well. Good skill by Sean McAllister. Montlouis beats Martin Sheriff in the air. Lively few minutes.
Yeah, they stand the ball up well, Arsenal. When you get into them inside wide positions, they really just do like you say, dig that cross out to the back stick. That's really been a feature of their attacking play. When they've had the ball in wider areas, they've worked it into that inside channel and just looked to stand the ball up to the back stick. And
here we go again. Oh, he's away. He's past Ishi Samuel-Smith. He's inside the penalty area, and there is the third goal. And again, it's an avoidable goal, but Arsenal are probably home and dry with 17 minutes to go. Charles Sego Jr. the goal scorer, but Amario Kozia Dubry on this right hand side, very much the architect. He was away from Ishi Samuel-Smith, put the ball into the danger zone, and Sego Jr. did the rest.
just been speaking about the threat Arsenal have in wider areas, and this time the ball wasn't stood up to the back post. It was just pulled back into the middle of the goal, and uses his body brilliantly well. Just slows down, just buys himself half a yard again, just to protect the ball before he makes the delivery there. Cozier Dubry for Arsenal, but probably could have been marked a little bit tighter inside the box. Finished from inside the 6-yard box in the middle of the goal.
In there, didn't he?
Yeah, just managed to elude the marker, but disappointing that for Everton, because we've just been talking about Sean McAllister breaking through and a chance for young Owen Barker where we could have equalised, and then down the other end we only concede a goal, and it's 3-1.
Portuguese youngster Mauro Bandeira is on, and this time Jack Henry Francis is withdrawn. Mauro Bandeira is on for the closing 15 minutes, and Everton have got a mountain to climb here to even restore parity and take a point from this game. A game in which we led by 1-0 and looked fairly comfortable for it. Might have been a different game had we held on to the lead for a little bit longer than a couple of minutes, Chadwick.
Yeah, most definitely, and even once we went 2-1 down, I think we've reacted quite well to that goal. We've just been caught with that sucker punch again there, and 3-1 now looks a difficult scoreline in order for us to get back in the game.
Higgins wants the foul, he's not going to get it. Mauro Bandeira's first contribution is to slide a lovely ball down the right-hand side to Cozier Dubry. Cozier Dubry knows he's beaten Nishi Samuel-Smith a couple of times already this evening. Lays it back to Smith. Cozier Dubry again. Brings it in field. Good challenge by Nishi Samuel-Smith. Zach Orr, tall figure. Good effort as well by the centre-half. Wasn't your archetypal centre-half's effort, that was it?
Michael Keane-esque.
Yeah. Against Tottenham. How important could that goal be come the season's end? Higgins, good ball. Another good run by Sean McAllister. Something that Nick Chadwick's pointed out on a couple of occasions tonight. The intelligence of Sean McAllister to get into good positions to receive the ball.
The timing of it as well, times it really well, and positive in his play. Manages to get us a foul in the final third, and this is going to be important now. We've got good delivery into the box, make sure we've got good numbers in there, and can we get something out of this type of situation to set up a grandstand finish?
You never know, do you? 14 minutes to go. The old vanishing spray is out from the referee. No shortage of height in there for Everton now. Martin Sheriff right amongst it. Needs a good delivery from Sean McAllister from this near left-hand side into the box. Decent ball in, headed away though. Metcalf on the volley, crashes into Ben Cottrell, spins away on the far side for a throw-in to Everton. Not afraid to try his luck from distance, Jensen Metcalf.
No, hit it well, but blocked again. Just a little bit static in terms of movement in the box there. Not a bad delivery into the box, middle of the goal. Not enough players on the move for me.
There's a man down inside the penalty area. It's Raoul Walters, the Arsenal centre-half. There he is, the number 4. Just needs a little bit of treatment. 13 minutes to go. Players taking the opportunity of a drinks break. And it has gone rather chilly now here at Hague Avenue. Chaddy bravely resisting the temptation to put his coat back on.
He who laughs last.
I should have known, shouldn't I? I've fell for it before. It's always lovely and warm here at Southport when the sun's out. Once it goes away, chill comes in off the sea. It can get chilly. And it's certainly chilly for Everton out there. Is there a way back in to this game for Everton? It's now or never, I suppose, for at least one goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they just maybe need to play the ball forward a little bit quicker, try and get some bodies forward, put this Arsenal back line under pressure, try and commit more bodies into the box when we've had the ball at times in good areas. And can we just put that goal under a little bit more pressure? I can't recount too many opportunities we've had where we've tested the goalkeeper or had a clear-cut chance. Obviously, Owen Barker's was one where we had a clear-cut opportunity. But apart from that, I think we can create one or two more opportunities between now and the end of the game. Put this Arsenal backline under pressure, but obviously you've got to be able to keep the back door shut, because Arsenal have offered a counter-attack threat since the start of this second half, haven't they?
Here comes the long throw in from Roman Dixon. Welsh and Campbell have gone forward. Big Martin Sheriff is an obvious target. Dixon gets plenty of purchase on it, but Zachor is such a big unit, isn't he? McAllister wins the challenge, but it's behind for a goal kick. It's an asset, isn't it, if you've got a centre half who's 6'5".
Most definitely, he's done well, hasn't he, and stood up to, as we said before, not every week or every game at PL2 level and under-21 level do you see a long throw used, and credit to Paul Tait for being brave enough to be able to use that. But they've stood up to it well, haven't they, Arsenal's back line.
Here's Isaac Price for Everton. Welsh. Isaac Price just dwelt on it. Ooh, I think he's a wee bit fortunate to get that one.
Just haven't quite got to the pace of the game, have they? Liam Higgins, Isaac Price, when they come on at half-time, they haven't quite just got to the pace of the game. And Everton need to move the ball a little bit quicker, try and gain that bit of momentum now, between now and the end of the game.
Good ball by Samuel Smith. Sheriff couldn't take it with him. Puts a challenge in on Monlouis, which would have been a foul. The referee's indicated play on for Arsenal. Walters finds Ben Cottrell. So much goes through Ben Cottrell, and his 2 goals were the platform for Arsenal's 3-1 advantage. Charles Sago Jr. prodding home the 3rd goal from close range.
Just got to be tidy, Martin Sheriff, when it comes into him. He's had a good impact, I think, since he's come on. He's put himself about. He's through his endeavour and his hard work. He's created 1 or 2 things, but when the ball comes into his feet, like that previous chance, he just needs to be able to take the ball in and make sure that it retains possession, and Everton can build off him.
Rowan Dixon gives the ball in field to Isaac Price. Goodness me. It just hasn't happened for Isaac tonight, has it? Completely overhits the pass.
Not what we're used to seeing from Isaac, isn't he? Normally uses the ball well.
Far more quality than that. Impressed with the first team in Australia before Christmas. 2 games against Celtic and Sydney Wanderers. He possibly the pick of the bunch. Here's Bandera for the Gunners.
Often with young players, though, Darren, isn't it? It's maintaining them levels, isn't it? I always think the ones that come through and play at the Premier League over a long period of time are the ones who can go in there and do it week in, week out, year in, year out, and it's that being able to do it all the time and have that consistency in your performance that the best players have got.
The space they're finding now, Arsenal, as Everton are piling forward. Here's Cottrell for Arsenal. Sago Jr. looking for Cottrell again. Cottrell gets it under. Never hurried, is he? Bandera, shooting chance for Bandera. Takes a deflection and spins narrowly wide. Corner for Arsenal. But they do look a threat every time they break, simply because Everton are piling numbers forward.
Ben Cottrell, the catalyst of it again. Some good football, wasn't it? Neat and tidy, as you say, in tight areas in that final third. Combines really well with the other players. Just pulls it back here to allow the shot coming in from distance, but a chance that you would expect Everton to be able to deal with, and they did so, but can see the corner kick.
Ben Cottrell has played for the first team, as I mentioned in the first half, and when you have players who play for the first team and they come back down to 21 level, you want them to dominate the games, don't you? And Cottrell's done that.
And also, you have to be good enough to go into Arsenal's first team, and he certainly looks like he is.
Good ball, good take, and thankfully that was more of a centre-half's effort. That's gone out for a throw-in on the far side. Rule Walters. Well, Zachor, the other centre-half, had a really good effort not long ago, but he's smiling about it there now. But Rule Walters, centre-half's effort, shall we say.
He's glad he claimed for a deflection there and got a throw in for his own team, because I actually thought he'd put his shot out for a throw in to Everton.
I think he probably would have gone anyway.
Hit the corner flag, I think. For sure.
Yeah, kill a bit of time. Throw in for Arsenal. Haig Avenue, Southport. Everton 1, Arsenal 3. 83 minutes on the clock. The mountain is getting higher and higher with every passing minute here at Southport. It's the final Southport fixture of the season. We beat Arsenal 2-0 here last season. Tom Cannon got one of the goals for the Toffees that day. Katsuki Arte actually got the other one. But Doesn't look as if we will be taking 3 points tonight. It looks like the young Gunners will be returning to North London with 3 points in the bag.
Just got away from Everton this second half, hasn't it? After a good start, they've never really actually managed to get any authority within the half and gain any real possession and momentum within the game. It's been a little bit scrappy. Arsenal have had some good moments in terms of their attacking play and good quality in possession, as they have done all night. But Everton have never really been able to dominate the way that they did, and they were able to manage to do midway through the first half of the game, and at the start of the second, it's sort of just performance has petered out a little bit, isn't it?
Haven't tested the keeper anywhere near as much, have we? Now then, here's Eli Campbell. There's still time, but not with forward passes like that from Eli Campbell. Straight through to the goalkeeper. It's the 41st game of the season, and the last 20 minutes or so it's looked at, hasn't it?
Yeah, lots of changes as well. We mentioned that halfway through this half.
Sago Jr. to Cottrell. Ball towards Edwards, dealt with by Reece Welsh. It's all a little bit scrappy over on that far side now. Everton will see the season out at Finch Farm week on Monday, as I've mentioned a couple of times already tonight, against the basement club Leicester City, who will finish well adrift at the foot of the table. Walters. Cozier Dewberry. Well done, Samuel Smith stands his ground, uses it nicely as well, but a strong challenge comes in from Walters.
He's had a tough night, Samuel Smith. He's been a real challenge for him, hasn't it? He's a good player, Cozier Dewberry. He can go inside you on his left foot, he can go outside you like he did for that third goal, and he's got pace, he's got good balance, he's got good agility, dribbles the ball well. He's offered a threat for Arsenal and a real challenge for Samuel Smith, who's stuck to his task. Not always come out on top, but he has stuck to his task and at times come out on top of that individual battle.
Here's Cozier Dewberry, goes for goal, good effort, good save. Billy Krellin caught it well there, the 17-year-old Arsenal winger, but Billy Krellin has not a great deal to do, ironically, considering that we're losing by 3-1, but he flung himself away to his left and got a good strong pair of hands on that one.
Ben Cottrell again, just instrumental, plays it out wide. And to just saying there, Cozier Smith beforehand, in terms of that individual battle with Samuel Smith, and gets his shot off this time, takes it early. Yeah. Good save.
Corner kick Arsenal, 4 minutes to go. Final substitution of the night from the Gunners.
An injury over there.
Looks it, doesn't it, Charles Sago Jr. Osman Kamara is on, and Charles Sago Jr., who scored the third goal, is off.
Nearly got through the night without mentioning Osman.
Osman Kamara. Curls the corner in, and it's a good take by Billy Krellin. Now look at this break on this near side from Liam Higgins. Billy Krellin gets the boot away. Higgins will outpace his marker. He just about does enough. Rule Walters.
Used his body great as well. That's something that I've noticed about this Arsenal side. As individuals, players, they do use their body well. I think it's something that foreign players actually do better than the English boys in terms of using their body to manipulate an opposition player or screen or shield the ball to protect. And this young Arsenal side do that really, really well as individuals.
Good ball from Walters. Great ball to Osman Kamara. Osman Kamara's inside the penalty area, lays it off to Edwards. Good block by Eli Campbell, because a 4-1 scoreline wouldn't be fair, would it? It would certainly flatter the Gunners.
Wouldn't be reflective of the game, would it?
Not at all.
Just beaten too easily there. The Roman Dixon allowed the lad to come inside him. Got to keep him outside in that final third. Not let him come inside and open up and see the goal.
A couple of minutes to go here. The Toffees 1, the Gunners 3. Edwards lays it off. Dixon wins it. He played Owen Barker. That's a free kick.
That's good play by Owen. It should have been a free kick.
Yeah, should have been a free kick. Bandera plays it wide to Cozier Dubry. That has been a good tussle all night, those two. Bandera on the overlap, hard and low across the penalty area. Reaches Kamara. Cottrell. Back to Kamara again. Arsenal just overplaying it a little bit maybe, but Matt Smith has the ball inside the penalty area. He's got a shooting chance, just too many blue jerseys. Danger not passed yet, as we edge into the 90th minute of the contest.
Just killing the game well, aren't they, Arsenal?
Yes, they are, yeah. Bandera. It's a decent ball, but not a very good header by Osman Kamara. Can Everton finish with a flourish? Martin Sheriff does well to pick out Isaac Price. Decent ball towards Higgins. Higgins can't get on the end of it. Louis hacks it away, and it's a throw in for Everton on this left hand side. Well, I think the points are gone, Shaddy, but it'd be nice to get a goal before the end.
Much better pass from Isaac Price, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lovely ball inside the full-back, and Liam Higgins had gone a little bit early. He might have got an opportunity, but that was good play by Everton.
So there's going to be 5 minutes of added time. Well done again, Martin Sheriff, but Sakho is there. Roman Dixon, chance to get the ball inside the penalty area, steadies himself, but then overhits the cross. Picked up by Samuel Smith. Better ball in, headed away, and Edwards is there for Arsenal. Decent ball in, that.
Great ball in the second time around. Just got to pick up that second ball and go again, Everton. Now it's 5 minutes to go. Put this Arsenal team under pressure.
Is she Samuel Smith again? Campbell. Good ball, Metcalf. Good take. Owen Barker. 3 defenders around him. Sean McAllister gets right underneath it, and it's high over the bar into the Jack Carr stand here at Hague Avenue. And the chance goes begging. 4 minutes of added time remaining for Everton to try and get another goal on the scoreboard. Who's caught your eye tonight, Shaddy, in a blue jersey?
There's some good performances. Sean McAllister always does well for me. Hasn't stopped trying all night. Some great runs forward. I think I've been impressed with Jensen Metcalf in there as well. I think he's shown some real good quality to his play, and also he's offered some protection to that back line. As always, the 2 centre halves I think do well. Elijah Campbell and Reece Wells do really well. They've got a good solid partnership there, haven't they? But so there's been some
real
good
pity that Stan Mills and Katia Kiyate both had to go off.
Yeah, because they were influencing the game, weren't they? They were Katia.
Oh, Ben Cottrell has spotted Billy Crellin off his line, and Billy Crellin just for a moment was panic-stricken, shall we say, and he's glad to see that it was drifting wide. I
think at this level of football, it's always good to see good footballers, and I think from an Arsenal point of view, I think Ben Cottrell's done really well for them. He's a good player, isn't he?
Eli Campbell, what was he doing? Took his eye off the ball, waited too long, and Bandera scores a 4th Arsenal goal. An individual error by Eli Campbell, most uncharacteristic, and that is a very flattering scoreline for the Gunners. Everton 1, Arsenal 4, and that's a real shame.
There was disappointment in that play, wasn't there? Even it was just sloppy, disappointed play, loose pass, and you can't get away with that. And yes, the game's already probably done and dusted, but I think Paul Tait will be annoyed with that type of finish to a game. It's not what his teams are all about, and he won't be happy with that sloppiness, really.
Yeah. Some of the goals have been avoidable, haven't they? Because when you were going through the players who have caught your eye, you mentioned quite a few of them. It hasn't been a bad performance, has it? We've just conceded avoidable goals.
Yeah, and I think that's a positive to take out the game. I think when you're looking at the level of football again, you're looking at individual performances, who's developing, who's progressing, who's performed well, and we've had that tonight. We just haven't been able to put that together and be able to put a performance together that's warranted a positive result in terms of the scoreline.
Kane Edwards trying to go on the end of this, and he does get there before Reece Welsh. Edwards back to Bandera. Bandera's inside the penalty area. Another chance for Arsenal inside the box, and well defended by Sean McAllister, and the shot comes in from Sousa, and it's high over the bar, and it's one for the back gardens of Hague Avenue. And thankfully, Arsenal have not added to their
I
four
think the
goals.
lesson for the young players here for Everton is you can't stop playing. This is 5 minutes to go. You're 3-1 down in the game. All of a sudden, all right, the game's done and dusted, but that scoreline can't become 4-1, possibly 5-1 there. You need to make sure you play to the end, play to the whistle, keep playing, try and get something out of the game, because at the minute it just seems these last couple of minutes that the game's gone dead and we're waiting for the final whistle, and before you know it goes 4-1 and we lose another opportunity to make it 5.
Good ball from McAllister to Liam Higgins. Off goes Higgins down this left-hand side. Rule Walters gets goal side. Higgins is down by the corner flag. Back to Samuel Smith. Good ball in from Samuel Smith. Monlouis heads it away. Bandera misses his kick, but fortuitously it breaks for Edwards. Campbell. Dixon. Gunners are certainly finishing the strongest here, that's for sure. Here comes Osman Kamara. As it played on the overlap, the cross comes in. Edwards just couldn't reach it. There she Samuel Smith boots it behind for a corner, and this corner will be the last action of the game. And Everton have just got to see it through, because 5-1 is a thrashing.
Smell blood, don't they, these young Arsenal players now? Another little stand-up cross to the back post, been a feature of Arsenal's play. But 4 or 5 of their players full of energy trying to make the box and get themselves a goal.
5 minutes are up. Arsenal opt to take it short. Referee blows the final whistle. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. This is the final live under-21 broadcast of the season. It really has been an enjoyable campaign, a first campaign for Paul Tait and Keith Southern. We thoroughly enjoyed having you along for the ride in most of the games that we've shown. My thanks to Nick Chadwick alongside me again this evening. Forming quite a partnership, aren't we? The two gingers in the sunshine. It's finished here at Hague Avenue. Everton 1, Arsenal 4.
Everyone at Southport, they continue to support. It's very much appreciated. So thank you very much. Have a safe journey home.